Are you a constituent?
Yes, I am.
Good. Please stand up and talk loud enough so we can all hear.
I was just wondering if the government's going to make any kind of provisions under the cap and trade for our industry that's going to put an unfair advantage on imports and exports coming from the other countries that don't have it.
Okay. I talked about that if the bill as it came out of the House had a provision in there that for anybody who wants to come in, bring a product into our country, then they have to go by the same carbon control rules that we do. I couldn't hear you.
Under what they're passing right now, when will that go into effect?
Well, the cap and trade bills that came out of the House actually wouldn't kick in until 2013, 2014, because we have a lot of work to do. One, you know, and I've watched the energy industry. In fact, at our earlier town hall meeting today, I had a gentleman who worked for many years at the energy industry, and he said, I remember years ago that how we did things differently, a lot dirtier. And he said, I go on those plants now, and they're a lot different. I remember growing up that I couldn't drive a car that didn't have lead in my gasoline. But we found out that lead was going in our atmosphere. It's not healthy. So we actually produced a gasoline that was lead-free, and it doesn't make our car NOx. So, you know, we got some science and technology to see if we could get there. My fear about cap and trade, and like I said, I didn't co-sponsor it, I just tried to make it better, is that we will make the requirements get ahead of what's technologically feasible. But if we don't push the envelope, we wouldn't have any environmental laws.
Do you think that's really going to happen?
Well, I don't know if the Senate's going to pass the bill, in all honesty, on the short term, because there's a lot of problems with the bill. Yes, sir. You're a constituent?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, I'm a retired federal employee, and every November we get an option of our
It's open season.
Right. Will that still exist under this plan, or will I automatically go into the public plan?
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know.
the
They all
main
want
reason I'm
us in the
asking
public
is
plan.
my wife is a transplant recipient. You know, she's had a liver transplant, and her medicine is extremely expensive. And Blue Cross Blue Shield covers it real well. And I don't know if the public plan would cover her insurance where I can afford it to keep her alive.
Well, my goal is not, and the goal of the bill is not to impact employer-based insurance, including federal employee insurance, because that's employer-based. Okay. But to make sure you know, if I will vote to only cover members of Congress, because I'm under the same plan he's going to be under. He's under, because I come under federal employees. All my staff, Department of Defense employees who are civilian, come under the same federal employees benefit plan.
So I will be able to stay on the plan I have. And second,
the way the bill's drafted now, but you know, it's a work in progress.
And I got another. At 65, I'm eligible to go into TRICARE, which is basically a military. Well, I'll be able to do that under this plan.
Yeah, nothing in this bill touches either veterans benefits or TRICARE that I used to call Champus and things like that. But that's a whole separate. There's nothing in here. In fact, there are provisions in the bill that prohibit any except for sharing. You know, we started a few years ago. Somebody who wants to go to VA and maybe has Medicare, they can make that choice, and Medicare will reimburse VA for their portion.
TRICARE isn't VA.
I know, but it's, TRICARE, you can go to, you can go to the list. Atlanta runs TRICARE for the southeastern United States, and so that would impact TRICARE.
I have a general question.
I have so many people, and you've been here a number of times, so.
I'm a constituent.
Okay.
Just a general question, okay? I'm not going to argue and debate with you the minutiae of this bill, because I haven't read it, and probably most of Congress haven't either. So, but the bottom line is, how much opposition among your constituents will you have to have before you take a second look and support this plan?
Well, that question.
How many do we have in here?
Gene, I'm on your side, so
Well,
you want to get to this.
I represent about 700,000 people. Can I answer the question? We have about 700,000 people in the district. It started out in 2000 census about 640,000. We picked up a lot of area, so in people. But and I use town hall meetings to help me make a decision. It's not the only thing I listen to, because frankly, I don't know if all of you are constituents. You can stand up and tell me you're a constituent, and I don't know it. But I'm listening. Would you let me respond?
Green, I've got my driver's license.
I have to admit, we had a guy sign in on Monday night that signed in an address, and I wish I don't see him here tonight, he didn't show up last night. We looked at his address, and I was going to ask him if he actually lived on that street and lives with a family called Hernandez. We're Americans. So people play games. I'm not questioning, like I said, I'm not asking you for your ID. I just know that I don't check people, so, and the other night, a third of those folks who showed up on Monday night signed in were not at addresses in our district.
But you are questioning.
But anyway,